9 years ago, we responded to the request of a group of women in rural central West Virginia who asked for some help in doing educational programs in breast and cervical cancer screening. And so we went down and we had an impromptu focus group discussing barriers to breast and cervical cancer screening in the area. And essentially what they said is they really needed help. They needed more providers. There was at that time, I think, only 1.5 physicians in the county, and they really didn't have anyone who could really handle the breast and cervical cancer screening on any type of regular basis. So we decided to collaborate and put together a volunteer screening program twice a year, staffed with graduate students in women's health. That's women's health, NP, and midwifery students. Well, in the past, I'd say at the 8-year mark, there have been over 300 rarely or never screened women that we've seen in this program, which is a huge benefit. Again, we consider cervical cancer a preventable cancer merely by screening. If you stay in screening, engage in screening, no woman should ever get, let alone die, of cervical cancer in this country. So the benefit is to engage women who are uninsured or underinsured in a screening process so that, we can identify any viral conditions that might eventually lead to cancer, and we could treat it successfully, really to save the lives of these women. At one point, West Virginia had the highest death rates from cervical cancer in the country, and they feel that was due to lack of screening. So our intent, collaboratively, was to turn this around. So that's a benefit for the women in the community, but I think there's a benefit for the students too. I think that in this day and age of healthcare, there is an importance, I believe, or an urgency that we learn to care for each other and to give back. That all healthcare providers, really look at things like social justice issues. And if there are resources that we have that can be shared, that would be an important thing for us to do and a lesson for students to learn. Well, the CDC's breast and cervical cancer screening program actually funds the processing of the pap smears and the mammograms that are there. And there's also a social worker who's there who would put the local community residents in touch with other resources. Let's say that if we're doing an exam and we find a person with uncontrolled hypertension, which happens all the time, this person needs care, this person has no insurance, this social worker will find a place where this person can go for care at very reasonable rates, something they can afford. For the students, it only comes from fundraising. It really does. So without the help and contributions of our friends and family and alumni, this doesn't happen. This cannot happen. In the past, the women in West Virginia used to be able to get small block grants of $400, $500, and I don't know that that exists. That does not exist anymore. So basically, it's totally funded by contributions. No, I just think it's been a wonderful adventure, and I think it's a very unique collaboration with the community to meet the healthcare of a community. And I think that it's again, in the past 9 years, this has been recognized as a best practice model, both regionally by the Appalachian Regional Commission, nationally and internationally by the World Health Organization. So I think it's a service of value, and we really, really need financial help contributions to keep this going on.